Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Real Talk. I'm David Thomas. This is Bo Gilson across from me. We're going to have some real talk today about
real things and real talk about real things.
Yeah, that's what we're here to do.
That's it.
And before we jump into that, we need to give a shout out to Norris Plumbing.
We do.
Norris has been in business a good while. If you go back with his family, his granddad was a plumber.
We're going back decades when you go back with the family.
Exactly.
But Norris Plumbing, give them a call. They will be there 24-hour service.
24/7.
They'll fix any leaks, any things you may need fixed. So make sure you give them a call.
Yeah, let's pause and hear from them, and we'll be right back.
Yes, please.
Norris Plumbing, your go-to source for licensed and insured plumbing services. Emergency services when you need it. Norris Plumbing. Call us at 931-703-5915.
All righty, welcome back in here to Real Talk on Shelbyville Now. And Bo, we've got some cool weather finally.
I've gotten halfway long sleeves on. I think I'd say we're halfway to winter, maybe.
No, we're not even halfway there.
No, it great.
Feels a lot better.
Windows are down. I'm rolling down the road. The air conditioner's off. Hey, I'm all for it. We have had 78 degrees today. It's been a little overcast. No rain. I think we've got a little bit of rain coming, but it's such a relief. We had, I don't know how many consecutive days of over 90 plus weather,
and heat index over 100 for several days.
It was. I mean, it's summer, it's Tennessee weather, but so is this.
But just in time for school, so the kids, they're not going to have to deal with the heat,
getting
in and out of the cars and buses and riding on the bus.
And the strain on the air conditioner of the schools.
Yeah, so that all is good.
But I believe it'll be back. It will be back.
It's coming. It'll be, because horse show's coming.
Yeah, that's right.
And it'll be like 150.
Yeah. We'll experience all of it.
One thing I want to clear up, our last show, my rear end was scalded because we were going to spend $200 million on a ballroom at the White House.
Yes.
And we found out that it's been going to be privately funded. So
yes.
Mine and your money is not paying for
it's
that.
Not.
Allegedly, it's not.
Okay. So that's. Right. I'm glad we cleared that up.
We got that cleared up.
Yeah, the ice. We're on ice now. We're good. Maybe a little bit of warmth.
Yeah. Well, bottom line, today we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. What's been going on and all over Middle Tennessee. Josh and I reported last week, and we broke the news, I think it was on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it was.
Concerning a lawsuit between Farm Credit. Farm Credit is suing Uncle Nearest Green Distillery, Uncle Nearest Real Estate Holdings, Fawn Weaver and Keith Weaver. That's been the topic going around this area for the last week or so. Well, the last few days and over the weekend.
It has.
A lot of things have come out. There's supposedly a counter lawsuit between the Uncle Nearest and now Farm Credit.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of innuendos, a lot of talk, a lot of rumor.
Oh yeah,
people speculating, people telling their stories, and we've got a court hearing this week that might clear a few of these things up.
Yes, I think that's going to clear a lot. And yes, Thursday it hit locally. But over the weekend and especially today, it's really hit. I know News 2's put a piece out on it. It's playing on the radio. I mean, this is something that is legit. It's coming for the company that has the loan company behind this is Farm Credit Services, which has been in business for over 100 years. So it's not just a flimsy fly-by-night loan company. So I think that's what adds a bit of a lot of credibility to this.
Let's just come right out and say it. $108 million is a lot of money to owe to a organization. And when an organization is getting nervous about it, if a bank's getting or a finance company is nervous about getting their money and they hadn't been paid, which that's what's alleged.
That's what it says.
So they hadn't been paid in several, and they go through it in details in these two documents, and they're online. You can look it up if you feel like
they stated a pretty good case of how they made several attempts over a large amount of time to try to get payments started and things, and they weren't getting anywhere apparently, and then this is where we are. All we know is what has been alleged by Farm Credit.
So why is this important to Bedford County for us to be worried and talk about stuff like this? Well, here's why. And this is my take on it, Bo.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big to-do made about this distillery.
Yes.
It's going to be the next Jack Daniels. Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, there's not a distillery. Okay, that's obvious.
Yes.
However, there's been claims that there's a distillery there, and there's not.
No, there's not.
This Uncle Nearest does outsource and buy their whiskey from a place in Columbia called Tennessee Distilling, I think, or Tennessee Distilled or whatever. And they make whiskey and they make it for Uncle Nearest. They label it, they sell it.
That's right. And nor does the land where Uncle Nearest is, do they have the capability or the infrastructure or the water or the gas or the power that's needed to run a distillery, which is a high-powered, high-function. A lot of energy is created in a distillery.
Okay, so let's get back to the importance of this. Okay, this was, quote, a tourist attraction for Bedford County, and it's going to bring all these people in here. Now on the weekends, you'll see there's some cars in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
We have the world's longest bar out there.
That's right.
And I don't know how all this is shaking out right now, Bo, but it sounds like to me that this finance company, Farm Credit, wants their money.
Yes.
And if they can't, since they hadn't gotten their money or hadn't been paid according to the documents, they're wanting an emergency. It's called an emergency motion for the immediate appointment of receiver.
Yes.
They list a receiver in here.
Yes.
And what a receiver would do would come in, evaluate the situation, see if it's monetarily favorable to keep the operation going and manage it.
Yes, it's a third-party
manager. Or liquidate whatever it is.
And I've heard some reports that that's not true, that they've already been appointed. That what is it called?
Well, it hadn't been appointed.
So it has not been.
Now the receiver's listed in here,
right?
And I could find in here who it is. It's I've gone through this, and it all starts running together.
Yeah, so basically, they're wanting to appoint a receiver, somebody, a third party, to see if this thing is making money and is doing things.
Well, part of the criteria for them to continue this loan and remain in good standing with Farm Credit is they had to make $1 every quarter for a period of time, and it outlays it. And that didn't happen. Okay, so they have not made $1.
No, they haven't, and I haven't really looked or paid attention to it a lot lately. I've never gone out there, but I do know when they first got here, there was a lot of cars in that parking lot every single weekend. I don't know how that's been lately. It would seem that there would be some type of profit generated. I mean, we all know that they're not making the whiskey there. I mean, everybody around here knows. Maybe people from out of town, they don't know it's a facade, but it's just it's basically an empty.
But the problem, Bo, is they owe so much money. When you got that much interest coming out of a business, there's no way.
No.
And that's a debt service. You're not going to make any money.
No, you're not. And especially
with that much interest.
With the other properties that in the report that it's named and the other things that they own. And
a house in Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, yes, a house.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's starting
planes,
to cross some lines.
It's
here
not looking good at all. You know, it's just not. It's not looking good. This is a serious deal, but we will, all we know is what's been alleged now, and now is the next point is Thursday. They're having the hearing on this to whether they will appoint that. Now that'll be interesting to see what happens in between that time after Thursday. And you can speculate, but I think Thursday would be a good time to where there'll be another time for us to maybe reanalyze what's going on.
All right, so I know the city gave them a piece of property off the backside of the industrial park because it wasn't going to be accessible since we got our acid factory built out there. It's just kind of blocking things. And by the way, when are we going to start getting some acid, Bo?
I don't know. Hopefully we've got it. We've got a lot of it. I'm waiting for it to hit the retail shelves, but it's not there yet.
The acid factory is not working out so well. And then we got this situation blowing up.
Yes.
How big of a setback is this for Bedford County when it was going to be the flagship, tourist attraction?
Yes, it is. I don't know really. I don't know if it'll affect us as much as we'd like to think. I do know that there were a lot of people that would not really cross the Shelbyville city limits. They would stop at maybe Nearest and go back to Nashville or Murfreesboro. I think some people were hitting it off the interstate. I think that, it had its own type of crab, but it wasn't, a lot of things that they have there, were just a little bit out of reach for a normal person that lives in Bedford County.
Yeah.
It's price wise, that is. But, I do think that there was some type of impact, but
not much.
It couldn't be much, and I wouldn't think it's as much as the celebration does in maybe.
Oh no,
2
no,
weeks.
no. You got the celebration that is a definitely. I don't know if I would call it a tourist attraction because it's an industry that is an industry, and people come here, and the celebration.
It's a little different.
Is an event. It's a national event,
but it's also year round here.
Yeah.
It does add to.
So that's our
economy.
number one thing.
Yeah.
This was going to be take over and be our flagship.
Well, they had some big time performers there when it first happened. I mean, it sounded great. I mean, they were going to have big concerts. They were having private concerts. Right. I mean, this was like the cat's meow.
How do you sustain something like that when you can't pay?
According to the allegations, there's no way that they can, and it's not that they haven't been given a chance or due notice. But I have noticed that the Lynchburg Times, or a paper out of Lynchburg, Tennessee, has been quoting the Weavers, saying that it was a fault of maybe a
CFO.
GM or CFO, and then maybe a loan officer and this and that. But
this is like
this is a big document. This is hundreds of pages.
All right, so I mean, what appears to be a lot of monkey business going on with this.
It's not a
and
good
there's more than just this tied to that, tied to the money. There's other properties all over the place, and you wonder what's real.
Yeah,
and when you start to have these questions come out, so we'll get these answers as things unfold. But I got a sneaking suspicion, Bo, that it's not looking good for Uncle Nearest.
It seems that there is a crack in the foundation somewhere, and if it's not a true crack and it's something that can be rehabilitated, then I guarantee you that they'll make it right Thursday.
Connie Hasty brings up something. Shelbyville has always been so eager to believe a lie. I don't know why they're so gullible. Boy, Connie, you have never spoken a truer word in your life, there. Because
well, you know what? I'm that is true, but I think we have good-heartedness and we have hope that the humanity is a little bit better than they really are. And time again, we get stabbed to that. I think we've got good-hearted people.
We often ignore warning signs because we have blind hope. Sometimes.
We have. I mean, according to what's happened in the
history. You look at the way things have shaken down on this, and there are allegations that the entire story that's been told about Uncle Nearest has been fabricated, a lot of it. And I don't know how much of that is true and how much is false. So that's in the air. Well, just the entire story that it's built on is like.
And just since this has been released Thursday, now it seems like so many more people are coming out with, this time they're coming out with a lot of stories, and you don't know it's a lot of hearsay. Well, as far as I'm concerned.
For years, for the last 2 or 3 years, there's been rumors flying around, and you go, what?
Yeah, I know it.
And now you see,
it's starting
the rumors that was smoke, and now we see fire.
Yes, we do. And like I said, they're getting their due process in the court of law.
They get an opportunity.
Chattanooga. Yeah. So, if this needs to be cleared up and can be on Thursday and gone, then that'd be great. But I don't have a feeling that this is going to happen.
Well, for Shelbyville and Bedford County's sake, I would hope that Uncle Nearest and Nearest Green Distillery, which doesn't exist at this point, they were planning for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
And Uncle's Nearest Real Estate Holdings and the Weavers, for Shelbyville and Bedford County's sake, I hope that there's been a gross mistake or a gross miscalculation, and it's not true. But
I do too.
I think Farm Credit
I do too.
Is such a they're credible.
They're credible. They've been in business for hundreds of years. So you're exactly right. And I'd like to say something about that too. Yes, there is a lot of hope for Nearest Green Distillery. That is a beautiful place out there. It would be great to see it flourish and not this be true.
So let's just say that model does not work in Bedford County, which I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it just don't work here.
No,
So what does for that property?
Well, and that is the question. We know that that's the hottest property, the hottest spot in Bedford County. One of them. I mean, that's the north. That's connected.
You're on you're on 231.
Yeah, you're on 231. You're in the spot. I mean, that is the spot. There's all kinds of possibilities, but we'll just hope that the right person comes in to make it what it needs to be. Look, as of today, it's still nearest green. I guess you say distillery, but kind of distillery.
Well, it's not a distillery.
Tomorrow,
they are a blender. They've got blenders that I guess they say this is what we want made.
I know,
but they're not making it.
They're not making Nearest Green's recipe.
No.
And maybe that's in Jack Daniel's hands, whatever. But that right there just adds. It doesn't add anything.
Yeah,
is what it does when that they're not making their own whiskey, and then when this comes out, like you say, where there's smoke, there's fire, and it's a fire now. And
okay,
Thursday,
so again, Bo, what happens to that property? It's important for Bedford County. I mean, what goes on out there is important. If like the signs are ripped down, and people say, well, what happened to your distillery? Well, it just didn't make it. That's what? Bad.
I would love for a great horse farm to come in there and reestablish that place, and we become the horse capital of the world.
Here's my thing. This is my theory. There's no possible way that property is worth $108 million. It's going to be probably more worth like under $10 million for the property.
Yeah. I would say you're much closer to that than $100 million, and I have seen a few values.
I don't get it.
I mean, I just don't understand how that this happened. It seems like that there's been the ball dropped, maybe at Farm Credit, maybe by the owners, but whatever it is, this is serious business. I mean, it's going to a federal court in Chattanooga. I mean, this is not just a frivolous type lawsuit, and this is not a loan company named iloveloans.com. This is Farm Credit Services, which now is located in Louisville, but has roots right here in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I would say, Bo, that after this court date, there's going to be a lot of other shoes falling too.
Yeah,
I don't think it's just going to end with that. Yeah. I think it goes further, and I think we will be like there might even be a movie made.
There could be
somewhere down the road.
There could be, but when I ride down the road and I'm listening to the radio and I hear in Shelbyville, it's kind of a black eye
there
a little bit, and here we are today. There's been thoughts and hopefully in hopes of this, but now we're at a kind of a time where we'll see what happens. It's to be seen, but it's not looking good for the Shelbyville distillery to be distilling.
It's hard to even say that, Bo.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I just wonder how many of them barrels stacked up out there has actually got whiskey in them.
I don't know, but I know that our lovely square has a lot of barrels from Nearest Green on the square, so I don't know what
they ain't nothing in them,
but they might be in jeopardy. I don't know if they'll be there, for too much longer, but they're there now. They've done a lot for Shelbyville. They've done celebrations and things. I know that they've done a lot. So, we just hope that the truth comes out and things
Joe
happen.
Finch. All right, Joe. Based on past experience, if the property becomes available, we will have some new county buildings there. Joe, what would we build out there?
We could build a nice a county watchtower or something. I don't know.
Okay, all right. In Alley Puckett, if I was a billionaire.
Yeah.
Man.
If I was maybe so, I would love to see a private individual or corporation or company that really means it and wants to really
get this. Miss Weaver was on Forbes probably a year and a half ago saying that her empire was worth $1.2 billion.
Well, I wish she was in Shelbyville just talking to the citizens, a little bit and getting to know us a little bit. But that's great for her and Forbes.
So that's worth a $1.2 billion out there.
Well,
we got 108 owed on it and can't get it paid. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and then you know what? Anything that I have, I always tell it it's worth a lot more than it probably really is.
All right.
Yeah, anything. But if I'm doing
I'll remember that if I ever start to trade knives with you or something, Bo.
Hey, I love my stuff.
All right. We're going to get out of here and let y'all stew on that.
Yeah,
and you talk about it and think about it. But it is important for Bedford County and Shelbyville that our number one tourist attraction with quotation marks is in jeopardy.
It is in jeopardy, and it's to be determined. And we'll be back probably at the end of the week, and we might have
with some updates
on
clarification.
Yeah.
Maybe see a clear path of what's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe an update, maybe a Blevins update. You never know. An appearance by Blevins. You know, the breaking news is Blevins is here.
That's
so
right.
We'll just see what happens. So stay tuned to
thanks for watching. Chris Kelly, I'm stewing. Okay.
Stew away.
Let's get back about Thursday or so, or sooner if we get any breaking news on anything. Thanks for watching, and again, thanks for Norris Plumbing for sponsoring Real Talk, and we'll be back again soon.